Well, hi everybody. This session is a quick run through about some of the things connected with speaking at the main stage. The main stage is a global webinar as part of the Festival of NewMR that we're holding in December this year. So, I guess the first question is, what is NewMR? It's really important to remember that there's no single definition. It certainly includes social media, it certainly includes mobile, lots of new techniques. We're seeing people talk about neuroscience, we're seeing people about neural networks, about predictive markets, new paradigms, moving beyond simply random access sampling, random probability sampling, to different methods of achieving answers. What sort of paradigm should we be looking at? Can we take triangulation from the qualitative world and put it into the quantitative world as another possible topic? New ways of doing business. The old idea of a standard agency is beginning to change. People are coming in with new shapes, new structures, new ways of doing business. All of this is creating new ethical issues. So any of these would be NewMR, but there are going to be other definitions as well. So be brave, have a think about what you want to do. A quick outline for the festival. It's going to run from the 6th to the 10th of December. It's going to last a whole week. What does it include? Well, it includes the main stage, what we're going to be talking about today, which is a global webinar on the 8th of December. It's got a poster competition. We're really targeting that at younger researchers, student researchers, to come along with a poster and win a chance of winning $1,000. There's also a video competition where we're looking for 3-minute videos. Again, we think this might appeal to some of the more creative and some of the more younger element within the research industry to come along and again with a chance of winning $1,000. And around all of this is going to be a concept called the Fringe. Now this is based on the Edinburgh Festival, for those of you who are aware of it. So there is the core function which we are organising, and then around that anybody else can organise anything they want. They can put things for fun. I know that there's talk about the research club arranging functions during the evening so that people can go out and have a socialise and a drink. People might want to do functions for publicity. People might want to do things in order to raise money. That's fine. We are simply a facilitating vehicle for that, and it's up to other people to make that take off. So what's happening on the main stage? Most important thing is 8th of December. It starts about 2 p.m. in New Zealand and it's going to finish about 20 hours later at 2 p.m. in California. So people from around the world will be able to take part, they'll be able to see what's going on, and they'll be able to contribute. We see the webinar being split into 3 chunks, each of about 6 hours. And we've targeted this as being affordable to just about everybody. So thanks to the sponsors, thanks to people helping really well, we're going to be able to make that possible. It's about $20 per chunk. So if you want to listen to the first 6 hours, $20. If you want to stay up for 20 hours and attend all, it will still only cost $60. For that, attendees will get a copy of all the slides and the ability to join in online discussions about the activities that they've seen and taken part in. In order to submit a synopsis, we're looking for people to go to the website, click on the link, but the first thing I would suggest is that you should read the synopses already submitted. Think about how to make yours attractive to voters, because the synopses are going to be voted on. Once you've read the other synopses, once you've framed that idea, click on the link and submit it online. How are the synopses going to be selected? Well, there are a small number of invited speakers. We've done that to help bring in the sponsors, to help give some structure and framework to the session. We've got some really big names coming in, and that's great. But the rest of the presenters, the majority, are going to come from a ballot of participants. All the people who win that ballot, certainly anybody who comes in the top 10, will be presenting. Some of the runners-up will also present, particularly if they opt for a less popular time zone. So at the moment, we have fewer entries from the more eastern time zones, from the New Zealands and Singapores and that part. So they've got a slightly better chance at the moment of winning. Competition is not surprisingly somewhat harder in North America, where there are more researchers already connected and up and running. But nevertheless, winners will present, and so will some of the runners-up. What's involved in presenting on a webinar, and we're going to talk about this some more in a moment, you need to send the presentation in advance and in PowerPoint. There are enough things that can go wrong with a webinar type presentation without having too many variables. So all of the presentations will be on a central server and a backup server. They're all going to be in PowerPoint. Much as I love Prezi, we need to have a standardized format to get this to run. You can't get video to run nicely over things like GoToWebinar, and you'll find that most presenters use fewer bullet points and fewer builds because of bandwidth delays. So normally I would break the bullets on this page into several different builds. Here I've got them all on the screen in one go because it makes it more reliable in terms of what the audience are going to be able to see. You will be if you are selected to present a presentation, you will be in presenter mode. At the moment, you're in attendee mode. Obviously, the presenter can be heard. That's one of the important things. And there are two ways of advancing the slides. You as a presenter can simply say, next slide, please, and the chair of your session will move it forward. Or you can use a coded phrase such as, on the next slide, you will see, and the chairman, if they're alert, will move it forward. Or you can advance the slide yourself. We will pass control to you, and you can use the page down key to enable you to move on to the next slide. When you're presenting, my experience is that it's much better to use a headset connected directly to your computer and effectively use voice over internet protocol. It seems to be more reliable, it seems to be easier to understand. You can dial in with a telephone line, but my feeling is that it's not as good. The other important thing is that every single one of the presentations, and there are going to be about 35 to 40 in total, will have a separate online discussion set up so that over the next few days, people who saw the presentation can add their comments, thoughts and suggestions. And we're looking for the speakers to visit their own session to be able to add some comments to that. What is the timeline? Well, most of the timeline is still being refined. We know that the festival is the 6th to the 10th of December. We know that the webinar is on the 8th of December. Synopses need to be in by midday London time on the 7th of October. Voting will take place about a week later than that because we've got to get everything set up, and the voting will take place for about 1 week. The speakers will be notified about a week after that. Presentations will need to be sent to us 3 weeks before the event because some people will put in too much marketing material in their presentation. Some people will have slides that are simply too long. Some people will have slides that are not compatible with the amount of time that they've got. One of the things that presenters need to bear in mind is you're likely to have a multicultural, multilingual audience. So you will be going through slightly less material than you would do if you were speaking to your home audience in your home language with a shared set of conventions and rules. So the main stage, the webinar we're talking about today, is going to be on the 8th of December. So please come along and find out more about it. Log into the website, read the synopses, and we'd love to see you submitting one and taking your place in the ballot. Thank you very much.